difference in there for junior driving. I think we're seeing a lot of good guys. We're seeing some guys at the better back of the grid or middle of the grid.
I think it's worth talking about those. For me, Dom Nielsen out of the 13th. For me, that's one to watch out for.
Yeah.
Watching Thom last year, very quick driver. Any further down the order that you are looking at to come through the field, or would you say this is a field
I think
that lines up very much as you would expect it to?
I think it's lined up pretty well. So you'll be taking this start away, and then we'll get it on.
Cool. Well, we're not far from getting underway then. The junior drivers heading around the last corner now, as you can see on the live stream. Ilian Blindseals and Nick Cuppins on the front row. So it's going to be Blindseals to the left of your picture. He is the number 105, the number 107. To the right of your picture on the outside of the front row is Nick Cuppins. We're about to get underway then for the Junior Max Fast final. It's a 14-lap race and we're underway. Ilian Blindseals gets a very good start. Going with him is Mads Rees. Oh, we're trying to go all the way around the outside there. That was Nick Cuppins, and he's held on to second place. So Nick Cuppins holds on to second. Rees is in third place. I think fourth. Let's see, is that Morin in fourth place? Oh no! Oh, Morin's had a spin! And it's Morin spins. Is that Justin Pullman? I think that might have spun as well. So what a disaster. I'm pretty sure that was Hannes Morin who spun there at the hairpin, and that is an absolute disaster. At the front, Ilian Blindseals looks to have got away comfortably, though Cuppins is second place and Mats Rees in third. Gus.
Yeah, great stuff there in the opening race. We've seen a lot of action. Somebody there losing the exhaust, or I think someone there coming through now. That's not really the sound that a road dog should be making. Continuing to the front of the field, we have got no
change for fourth. That is a change for fourth, isn't it? Is that Luca Lystra making a move?
Yeah, it was indeed. Yeah, just looking a little bit further back the field, but as you pointed out, it is Luca Lystra now into P4 of the grid ahead of Tijmen van der Helm, now dropping back to P5, and Hannes Morin, indeed, he was to start on P4, but involving there in the incident into turn number 5, he's been dropped back into the order. I do have an announcement to make, Chris, so just interrupt you there. We hebben Fazio Fransen en Arton Waljak melden bij Race Control. Dat is de witte container op start en finish. Dus de witte container op start en finish is Race Control. Daar willen we graag met spoed zien Arton Waljak en Fazio Fransen. Dank u wel.
Right, top three are starting to get away here, but a move's about to be made by I think Mike Van Voot. It was made. He's just gone past. Let's see, that was sixth place driver Sim Van Tiel.
Yep.
So that was a change there. But the top three are escaping at the moment. You can see the gap, 1 second between third place Mads Rees and Luca Lystra in fourth.
Yes, indeed.
But look at Nick Cuppins. Right with Ilian Blindseals. Are we going to see a move?
Not getting it over with.
No, he's wants to get past.
He's trying to get past Blindseals, indeed. The gap is coming down to, well, effectively nothing.
Yep.
And behind them is Mats Rees. He's wanting to have a bit of it as well. And now is Blindseals really, he's putting on a little bit of a gap coming through this last section of the track. Getting him a little bit of an advantage on the main straight.
I'll tell you what, I've just noticed Kobe Powerbell's really on the move. Oh, change for lead. Cuppins goes through though. Cuppins past Blindseals then. So new leader for the first time in the race. Cuppins goes through, and look at Luca Lystra now. That's allowed him to close right in. So Lystra right with them. But Mike Van Voot and Kobe Powerbell's both on the move on that last lap. They're now up to fifth. Up to sixth and seventh. The number 190 there, dropping 2 places, Sem Van Tiel. So Sem Van Tiel down to 8th. And Powerbell's on the move.
Indeed, and now the leading group expanding towards 6 cars. I'd say Mike from Voot is he is right in there.
He is, yeah.
A little bit of a gap to close, but he's really in contention for the lead of this race. He's Nick Cuppins. He's having a little bit of an advantage getting onto the home straight, but there's Ilian Blindseals. Blindseals,
I reckon,
giving him a little bit of a bumper through remain straight. There's no change of position there, but Luca Leistra pretty much wanting to get into P3 there. It's Mats Ries still holding on to that third spot at the moment, but if it's Leistra's choice, he's not in there for very much longer.
Yeah, Leistra wants to get past, doesn't he? And I think Brian Seals wants to get his lead back as well. Look at Van Voot and that's Tiemann van der Helm, isn't it?
Yeah.
Both closing it. Tiemann van der Helm is now part of the lead group. There's no two ways about that. Van Voot will be part of it by the end of the lap. So 6 for the lead. And Kobe Pauwels is closing in as well. He is he's less than a second now behind this lead group.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
this
really,
is a battle that's just
really
going to kick off, isn't it? Oh, change for third. Luca Leistra goes through. So Leistra goes through the third, but he's not going to hold it on the exit. So coming back past there, looks like Rees didn't go back past, did he?
No, he did.
So no, he has. So Rees has gone through. It's a good job you're looking out the window. Otherwise, we wouldn't have known. Luca Leistra then back to Sorf, and all of a sudden the top two have a gap.
Good spotting there. It's Tiemann van der Helm now trying to get past Luca Leistra. It's all an advantage for Mats Ries there in P3, but it's now getting off for Van Vught. He is the real winner of that confrontation between these guys. It's Kobe Pauwels now having been able to get with these guys. So there's a little bit of an opening. It's Mike van Vught actually setting the quick lap time, 55.8, as you pointed out on the screen.
Yeah, so Van Voot quickest on track. So coming out the last corner, the number 107's Cuppins, the number 105 is Ilian Brian Seals, 199 is Rees Leistra next along. It's getting closer and closer. I'd say this is the most entertaining race we've had so far today.
I think it is, yeah.
As they head, you can even see even further back, Pauwels is now within 2 seconds of Nick Cuppins in the lead. So he is closing in as well. He has to be surely one of the quickest on circuit as they head down the back straight.
He is, yes. It's all these, I'd say the top 7 now is in contention for the lead of this race. 7 from Til just really half a second behind these guys.
Yeah.
A little bit of a gap to make up. It is quite spread out now, as we've said, for the gaps of 4 tenths towards some of these guys, but there's really a couple of fights going on. I think Leistra now, he's wanting to have his P3 back. There is change for lead for Brazils, and change for P3 is indeed Luca Leistra. So there are 2 changes of positions for the guys coming into turn number 1, but it is Ilian Brazils now getting back into P1 ahead of Nick Cuppins.
Simultaneous overtaking there at the first corner. Brian Seals back into the lead. Leistra back into third. Down the back straight they go then. We're into the second half of the race now as they head through the chicane, through the double right-hander, now into the left-hand hairpin. Awesome section of the circuit this. Down towards the cafe area, and Brian Seals back into the lead. But look at Van der Helm. He's getting closer, as is Pauwels. They're all getting closer. The top 7 split by 1.9 seconds at the end of the last lap. Out of the last corner, down the start-finish straight, Brian Seals, with that move, has just been able to extend his lead to a couple of kart lengths. But Leistra, since getting back into that third, has put some distance between himself and Mats Ries. Heading out now towards turn number 4. And Leistra's the one on the move here, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's really trying to make up ground. We know from previous races he is fast in that Tony Kart machine. He set the pole actually in Valencia.
Yes.
I believe he did. So he is one to always look out for, and wanting to get a piece of the action there. Is closing down to man on P2, Nick Cuppins. He's going to have a hard time holding him off. It's 5 laps to go when the guys are going to cross the start and finish line. It's now a 5-way battle for the lead. There is Kobe Pauwels with one try there for P6. Didn't quite work out the way he'd like to.
Here we go. Moves being done into first corner. Luca Leistra goes up the inside to take second. And I think that was Van Voot going into 4th place. So Mats Ries is down to 4th place. Van Voot gets that move done. Leistra into second. Now he has 4 laps to try and go after our leader, Ilian Brian Seals. The gap It's got to be around 3/4 of a second as they come down the back straight. Luca Leistra, he was looking over his shoulder there, Gus, wasn't he? Just saying, follow me, Nick Cuppins, and I will take you up towards Ilian Brian Seals.
Well, I think he will. He actually is what I think. We don't have seen the quickest times of these guys, but I presume he is the quick guy out there, as we've just tuned back into the live timing. It is still Mike van Vught holding the lap record for this race, but the recent times it was Luca Leistra, one of the quickest guys out there. With Mike van Vught having lost a couple of positions with his battles, he's now knocking on the door of Tijmen van der Helm, but losing a place to Toby Powles instead.
Yep, not going so well for a race that could have gone so well for Mike van Vught. It's kind of gone the opposite way it should have done for him. But Luca Leistra, let's compare lap times last time round. He did a move, and yet he still matched Brian Seals. That was even with that overtake at turn 1. So Leistra, I think on this lap we're going to see him really close in on Ilian Brian Seals, and Ilian Brian Seals looks worried, don't he, Gus? He's looking over his shoulder there.
Yeah,
he knows that he's being caught.
It will feel the heat of the young Belgium Luca Leistra, as they have 3 laps left to run when they get across the start and finish line. Lots of action further behind, around 3-5, I think that is.
Yeah,
no overtaking yet, but Leistra not been able to get into there. He did come closer, with a 100th of a second. He did come closer, not really very effective there, but he's holding on to Bruinzeels. Bruinzeels has got an advantage of about 2 or 3 kart lengths around that back straight. Just might keeping his hopes alive for winning this race.
Mike van Vught, I believe, got a place back going down the back straight there. He's back into 6th place. I think it was Powles that he went past. But to be fair to Ilian Brian Seals, he has responded to this pressure very, very well. That last lap was quite crucial. But the further this race has gone on, the smaller this lead battle has got. It was one stage 7 karts. It's now down to 3 drivers, and Nick Cuppins is struggling to hold on to Leistra and Brian Seals here. They headed towards turn 1, 2 laps left. So Leistra, this is such an important lap now. He needs to close in on Brian Seals if he's going to want a shot at the victory. Otherwise, he's going to find himself defending from Cuppins.
Yeah, he really needs to get his speed a little bit up. I think he's not been catching him the past lap. Well, he did again with about 2/100ths of a second. But looking out of the window, might be a little advantage there for Ilian Bruinzeels. Just looking over the shoulder once again, checking where Leistra is. Leistra is a little bit far away, as we do have a 5-second penalty being awarded to driver 110. We'll just look that up for you who that is and confirm that is Jasin Ferati. Ferati, who has gone out at the start of the race, of course, having had that incident with Hannes Morin earlier on. Some action further behind.
Van der Helm, isn't it?
Yeah.
Defending from Van Vught and Powles. So getting a little bit close there. And I'll tell you what, Ilian Brian Seals has done enough for me. I don't think he's going to be caught here. But what about Nick Cuppins? Because he's on a late charge, isn't he, in the 107 there? He's back with Luca Leistra. Is he going to line him up for a potential move at the last corner here?
I think he might be. As we've been talking about earlier on, this last corner is very important for the dependence of this race. But I reckon Cuppins is a bit too far. No changes for the lead in there. But further behind, we did have a change of position, the 133 of Jasin Ferati there, going past Sam van Til in this late phase of the race. There are no other changes of position in this last couple of laps.
Well, out front, Brian Seals took the flag first by just under 3/10. He won the race. A very, very deserved win, it's fair to say. He was up against it with Luca Leistra closing him down. He had 6 karts to contend with at one time, but Ilian Brian Seals kept his nerve, didn't make any mistakes whatsoever. Ilian Brian Seals took a very deserved victory there. Luca Leistra will be satisfied with his 2nd place. Third place went to Nick Cuppins. I'm sure he'll be happy with that as well. He's mounting a late charge to even at one stage looked like he may have gone past Luca Lystra, but in the end he settled for third place. So Cuppins then finishes in third place. Fourth place is Matsuris, a very solid result for him, only losing the one place. Timon van der Helm was fifth place, and it was Mike van Voot, Kobe Powles. Jasin Ferati came up to eighth in the late stages. Semban Thiel was ninth. Dom Nielsen was 10th. Then it was Mikael Targason. Next along was Ralph Winkle in 12th. Wilgot Edqvist was 13th. It was Mikael Lang, Emily De House. Then it was Justin Pohlman, who of course expected Justin to be a little bit higher than that. Lucas Shoemakers was 17th. Daniel Traeger was in 18th place. Then it was Largim Ali in 19th. Thomas Burstins was in 20th, and it was Arthur Roch. Mika Nellis was 22nd. And so unfortunate for Hannes Morin. He had qualified on the outside of row 2, and poor old Hannes Morin was his race was pretty much done when he got towards the hairpin up there at turn 5, and he was turned round. So Hannes Morin, who it's fair to say was a contender for the win today, he will be on a charge in the final 2 coming up later on. And Julie Fleets also didn't finish classified in 24th. There's the official classification of the order. Of course, scrutineering checks and post-race checks need to be done before that will be a printed result. But for now, that is the result of final 1. And well, what a morning of action it's been so far. We had the warm-up, we had the qualifying, our first few races. That for me was the best race we've probably seen, although Minimax decided right on the last lap, wasn't it? Micromax, a lot of action there. Senior Max, action packed. We didn't know quite where to look, did we? So we got plenty of good racing this afternoon. Please stay with us if you're on the live stream. We're going to have a lunch break now, but Gus, if you just run us through